Hello everyone, welcome to the daily forecast on Euro-Dollar. This time we're going to start slightly differently. I would like to follow up a few charts and just discuss the main market topics. So first of all, what was interesting, on Monday we had a flash crash on gold. Gold fell almost 5%, silver fell 7%. Then we had this very strong recovery in the price. And right now, gold trading is in a quite narrow range. I think it's consolidating more strength. And in my opinion, it still looks quite vulnerable because many traders would hesitate to go long in the given conditions. When we had those sharp movements in the gold, I think it more looks in the south direction. Another chart that I would like to discuss is the 10-year US government bond yield. So in my opinion, as you can see, so it's above 1.30 for the first time since July, and it shows some strength of the underlying dollar. So let me remind you that the government bond yields is an indication of the economy growth and of inflation growth. So the market seems to start believing that the economy is in a great shape, and that inflation is going to basically return to normal levels. And at the same time, the growth is going to be back to the economy. So we had a pretty strong movement over the few previous days. So right now, let's return back to the website service, which is called Winners and Losers. And we're going to review the situation over the last trading session. And we're going to review a few timeframes. So let me remind you that this website service allows you to see the strength and weakness of each major currency pair. There are 8 currency baskets, and you can review them in different timeframes, starting from 1 hour and up to 1 month. So let's first of all look what happened over the night. So we can see that the Canadian dollar and the Swiss franc were the strongest, and also the Australian dollar. 3 currencies were the strongest ones, and the New Zealand dollar was the weakest currency. If we look at the 1 day, at the last 24 hours, we can see that the US dollar and the Canadian dollar are the winners, and we also have 2 losers, the Swiss franc and the New Zealand dollar. While looking at the weekly chart, we can see that the situation has changed. Previously, the winner of the week was the New Zealand dollar. However, the dollar is currently the dominant currency. It gained 0.75%, so it's showing its strength, and it took the first and leading position, while the Swiss franc is still remaining the weakest currency. And also we can mention that the New Zealand dollar was the top currency before yesterday. However, it retraced and it lost some of its value. And if we look at the monthly, we can see that once again the dollar is now the dominant power, and the Australian dollar is still the loser of the month. So it's time to get back to the technical situation, and let's start with daily charts. So now we can see, now we're trading below the wide triangle. The support line was broken, and as you can see, we're trading and we're actually trending downward. Let me pull out the 1 hour chart. I think it's more interesting to watch. So we were trading in this range that was broken. We had a very strong impulse and with some consolidation at those levels. And right now we can see that first of all, the price feels very comfortable at those levels, at the current levels, and it's starting to go in the downward direction. So there's still a lot of potential for the US dollar to gain, even within this week. The momentum is still strong. And once again, when we have a rally and the price is consolidating, there's a high probability that the movement is going to continue. However, please notice that there was no impulse this time. We didn't see a very strong impulse after the consolidation. And right now, I would say if you previously had any short positions, then it would be time to set the stop loss into the break even, because at these levels we might even have let's say a deeper corrections. And I would rather, let's say, if you would prefer to open new short positions, I would rather wait to have a strong downward movement, so a strong impulse to have a further correction, and then that would be a new trading opportunity. So in my opinion, you either need to, if you have an existing position, you need to move your stop loss into the break even. If you do not have any new position, well, one of the opportunities is to open a short position with a very short stop loss. For example, the stop loss could be located right here at the level 117.50. And also having the closest target, in my opinion, would be 117. And I mentioned this a few times why this level might be important. Let's go back to the daily chart. So yeah, we have a low from April, from the beginning of April is 117. And this level can be quite significant. In addition to this, I think, well, I have too many lines. I need to redraw some of those lines, but let me do it on the fresh chart, and I'm going to do it from scratch. So we have a classic channel, a downward channel right here. So, and it's moving in this direction. So let me, well, you can draw this line very differently. It can be from here, but ideally, when you have the first point, the second point, so the third point needs to be somewhere here. And we can actually expect, well, this line has to be parallel to that line. And we might expect some support level right here. And at the same time, this level coincides with the low from beginning of April. So in my opinion, 117 is going to be a very strong support level. So that would be also your initial target. And please take into account that the market might start fixing their profits before that level. So we might not necessarily reach 117, it can be 117.10. So if you have any short positions, 117.10 would be a good level to fix your profits. So, yeah, just getting back to the 1 hour chart, I would also just say that that if you are looking for new short positions, so one of the opportunities would be to open a short position right now, put a stop loss above 117.50, target the area 117.10, or in case if you want to open a more reliable positions, then it would be better to wait for this level to be broken, 117. So we need to have a strong impulse. And then once we return to level 117, once we have the first correction, we may consider opening new shorts. So that would be our recommendation for today. So I hope you like this video. Please post your questions and comments if you have any, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching.